This is the final session of Staying on Track, and I'm calling it today Being Together. And of course you can see that I am together with my friend Gilbert, who many of you will know from the VMTC community. When we looked at the post-Pentecost church, we noted how they became a community. They met together to learn from the apostles, they prayed together, they shared meals, they cared for one another. And community was very much the basis of the early church, and of course is still vital to us today. There's a well-known picture of a red coal taken out of a fire and put on the hearth, soon turns cold. And as Christians we need to be together so that we share in the life-giving power of Jesus. In John 15 we have a picture of the vine and branches, and Jesus said, "I'm the vine, you are the branches." Now the branch simply cannot exist on its own. Paul uses a picture of the body and the different parts of the body. And he says, the toe simply can't go off on its own and expect to survive. We need each other. We need to learn off each other. Shared understanding, shared experiences, that's what helps us grow. If we're just learning on our own, we can easily go off on a narrow path which is going off at a tangent and leads us in the wrong direction. We also need each other for support. Paul says when one member of the body suffers, the whole body suffers. And if you cut a finger, it hurts and the whole body feels miserable, even though the finger's only a tiny part of the body. There are times when we need the advice of others, or we need their help, whether it's physical or emotional or spiritual. Or there are times we simply want to rejoice and share the joy that we're having. Being a lone Christian is just plain hard work. I often use a picture of geese in flight. They fly in a V formation, and the one at the front of the V is doing all the heavy work. The others are somehow in its slipstream. And they change frequently, so another one will take over the leadership to give the one out the front a rest. And they keep doing that, so that these geese together can fly long distances, whereas on their own, they would just die of exhaustion. They'd never make it. Another aspect of their flying is their noise. They're not just plain noisy creatures. What they're doing is they're honking to encourage each other. As Christians, we need to share. We need to share the load so that we can do more together, and we need to encourage one another. Now, I know sometimes some of us will send each other an email and it just says honk, honk. We're simply saying to the other person, I'm thinking of you and encouraging you. Another vital reason of being together is to share in communion. We are all God's children. We're saved by the death of Jesus. In the communion, we not only remember what Jesus has done, but we take into ourselves the bread, the broken body of Christ, by which we are set free. That's the payment for our sin. We take the wine, which seals the covenant that he's made with us, and it's our acceptance of that covenant. So in this meal, Jesus is present and he is active. To neglect this communion is to deny the presence of Jesus with us, but to do it together binds us together as his children. Let us not neglect our brothers and sisters, but rejoice in being part of such a family.